Today I'm going to show you a strategy you can use to help you when you are writing. This strategy is especially helpful for beginning writers who may not have background knowledge on a topic. Generating ideas is one of the hardest parts of writing, and in this video I'm going to show you a strategy that you can use that can help eliminate the need to generate on the fly, so to say. Let's look at this sample main idea at the top of the page. It says, it is important to stay informed about what's happening in the world and in your community. So that's the main idea. The main idea is what a paragraph is mostly about. Next, we need a detail. A detail is something specific that's directly related to a main idea. The detail can be related to 4 specific types of questions that I created. So they can be related to a why, if, how, or what type of question. So for example, our main idea is it's important to stay informed about what's happening in the world and in your community. So the why question could be in the form of a detail could be a personal reason. So I like to stay informed because I like to travel. When I travel, I like to know if where I'm traveling to is safe. So that could be a why type of detail. Next, we have an if type of detail. An if type of detail is based on a consequence. So if people do not stay informed about what's happening in their world and in their community, they could be put at risk or danger. A detail can also be put in the form of a how question. So, answering the question how. One can stay informed by reading newspapers and news websites. A detail can also be put in the form of a what question. So a what question is based on concrete examples. So that could look like people stay informed by watching the nightly news. Now, so this detail that I decided to use for this, it states you can stay informed by reading newspapers and social media. And I'll also state this was created by one of my students who has a particularly hard time with writing. So we have our detail. Now we need a supporting detail. And supporting details can also be written in response to a question. So the questions will answer a why, what, how, and if. So, why? So a specific benefit or advantage of what one is talking about. So if my detail is you can stay informed by reading newspapers and social media, my why supporting detail could be when one gets information or when one stays informed by reading social media posts, one gets the most accurate, well, that's debatable. We could say one gets the most current information available. That would be a why supporting detail. A what supporting detail could be a specific example that refers to a company, a person, a place, activity, etc. So that would look like one can get informed from social media sites like Facebook and Instagram. A how supporting detail refers to a specific action related to what one is talking about. The how refers to the doing. So, my supporting detail could look like one can use their phone to get information, or
One can use their television to get information.
but because our supporting detail has to be specifically related to the detail, we can't use the television because we said by reading newspapers and social media. So we have to always remember that the supporting detail has to be directly related to the detail. And finally, we can use a supporting detail that's based on an if. And an if supporting detail is based on a consequence of a specific action related to the main idea. So, if one gets their information from social media, they will have some of the latest news available. One can get their information live. That's an example of a if supporting detail. So my student said, you can use social media to develop your own opinion as opposed to what the mainstream thinks. Okay, let's look at some more examples. And these are examples that I got from my student. So the main idea here says it's important to have hobbies. Detail, having a hobby gives you something to do in your free time. So this detail was based on a why, a personal reason, or based on a need. Then my student said, for example, when you're done after school, you can play football. Okay? So my student here, he used a what supporting detail and used a specific example to create this supporting detail. And he combined it with a how. He gave a specific action. So the action is playing football. Let's look at another one. It is important to eat breakfast. The detail my student gave was you need to eat breakfast because it gives you the energy to make it through the rest of the day. So, you probably will need to eat lunch and dinner, but this is my student's first stabs at generating ideas for his paragraph. And I'll say he has a very, very hard time with generating ideas. So you need to eat breakfast because it gives you the energy to make it through the rest of the day is a why type of detail. It's based on a need. Next, for the supporting detail, my student stated you can eat pancakes with orange juice. So he used a what type of supporting detail. He gave a specific example of what one can have for breakfast that is going to give them the energy to make it through the rest of the day. Let's do one more. My student main idea was it's important to get rest. Next, the detail was if you don't sleep, you can be irritable and tired. So this detail was based on an if, so it was based on a consequence. And then the supporting detail stated 8 hours of sleep can get you through the day. So this supporting detail was based on a why. It was a specific advantage of what one can get if they get enough sleep. Okay? All right. So let's now do one together. All right. So our main idea is it's important to drink water. I want you now on your own to write a detail on it is important to drink water. So you could do a why, you can do an if, a how, or a what. You can pause the video and begin. Okay, so let's see. It's important to drink water. So I'm going to make my detail based on a need. So I'm going to say we need water to properly function. Okay? So that's our bodies need water so that we can sweat, we don't dehydrate, get sick. We need water to properly function. Okay? I'm going to make this red. Okay, next, supporting detail based on we need water to properly function. Okay, so I'm going to use an if. Okay, so an if supporting detail. If we don't get enough water, we can become dehydrated. Okay, so now I'm going to just leave it like this for now. So now our paragraph states it is important, our mini paragraph, it is important to drink water. We need water to properly function. If we don't get enough water, we can become dehydrated. So these are the beginning steps. These are strategies that one can use when writing a paragraph, and it's very difficult for the writer to generate ideas.